Okay, this video is going to be about post alignment, and we're going to get into some post fit in this video also. This is a topic that I learned about after I left repair school. I did not know what post alignment was, and I kind of had an idea what post fit is. You guys know what key fit is. We've talked about that a bunch. Post fit's very similar to key fit with a couple exceptions. So where I do the most post fitting is on saxophones. I've never really run into any flutes or clarinets that need post fitting. So what you need for this is your canvas hammer and the hinge rod. Here's the skinny on post alignment. So first things first, this is my Bundy 2. This hinge rod goes through 1, 2, 3, 4 posts before it screws in. So the idea here behind post alignment is that when I send this through, it lines up and doesn't hit on the sides. And the goal is that you can send this through and it goes through every post, lines up perfectly with the threads, and boom. When I go to put this in, this isn't bad, but right away we have a lot of swing on this. And it's because this post here, the hole in it is very wide. So we're going to need to address that. That's not bad. The way that one fits, it's hitting right here before it nudges itself in. So that's okay. But here we get to this one, and see how that lines up? That post, it hits right here on this side. That's not good, because that means we have to bend this to get it in. I'm sure it was manufactured like that. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes the posts get hit and they get pushed left or right, but that kind of tension, you probably noticed when you took this apart that it did not come apart real easily. This is part of the problem, that isn't lined up. Okay, so when we get to this, I like to start here at the beginning. And the other thing we need to make sure is this hinge rod straight? The only way I have learned, you could sight this, look down it, look for lines of light, but we need to go over to my bench motor. And since this is so long, I'm going to put some of it in. I'm going to have to flip it, but I will just get this ready. Let's turn this on. This hinge rod's bent, so I can't really align anything until I know that this is straight. So your big rawhide mallet, you want to drill a hole in, and I would honestly, this diameter, that's what I would start with. I've been using this for years, so that's why my hole has gotten so big. Okay, so I know you've seen this a bunch of times, but I turn this on, I make sure that's tight in there, and now I'm just going to give it a little bit of leverage. I'm bending it a little bit. That's better. Right about here it starts to get really bad. So I'm going to choke it up to there. Oop, let's just go with that much. Make sure that's nice and tight. You don't want that coming in. Okay, we see it wobbling. Now, I'm giving it a little bit. Also, that hinge rod's going to heat up, but I am giving a little bit. You don't want to just be like whoosh, because you'll snap the hinge rod. I might have to do this a couple times because that hinge rod's going to go to where it felt comfortable, which was probably bent this whole time. And as I do that, it's starting to drill in. That's getting better. That's hot. This isn't so bad right about there. So maybe I just need to give that a little bit more tension as I do this. I don't spend forever on this, okay? I get it real close, and then I move on. It's not worth your time to try and get it perfect, especially on a student model instrument, especially on a Bundy 2. That's really wobbly. This isn't so bad. So I flipped it, and it's okay if I got that in the threads. I can fix that. Look at that. Ton better. I'm going to leave it there. Again, you're only going to get this so far. Ooh, wait. Okay. Yeah. So one big long. I would not try and straighten anything longer than what I have in my bench motor right now. I think this is too long to be sticking out to really... Yeah, it's close. It's not perfect. And remember, I think I shared with you this story. I was once straightening a hinge rod from a Barry sax that was that big, and I was trying to do that much. And I bent it, and there was no way to fix it. So we had to make a new one, and it was very sad. And again, now we're watching me spin things. It's not bad, it's not perfect, but I'm gonna go with it. It's as close as it's probably going to be. So we come back to the saxophone. Now that we know this is straight enough, then you want to clean out the threads so you don't have any of that wood dust in there. We're going to need some WD-40 to clean that out real well. Make sure you clean out the slot. Mine's okay, but make sure you clean out all the slots on your instruments. Okay, so now that we know that this is relatively straight, we're going to go in. Now, those guys line up, but this has a lot of swing. So let's talk about fitting that post, because I don't like this much. It just is way too much room for error. Usually the first post in a line does this. So post fitting, these are the old pliers, these are the new pliers. We have a dome on both sides, and if I could direct your attention to the board. So you have a post with the hole, and the hole's too big. Here's your screw, right? Too big. Actually, it would not come through with the slot side first, but you get the idea. So that ball is going to push material in to make the diameter of that post on that side a little bit smaller. And that way, we don't have all of this swing here. Okay, now, I check the post fit on all of the posts while I'm doing the post alignment. But this first one we have to address first. So, I'm going to demonstrate. I'm going to use the old ones. This is how you would set this up. The ball side goes against the part that you want to squeeze in. The flat side goes against the entry. You're going to just squeeze that a little bit, and then I like to work it like that. I'm just squeezing these pliers a little bit, and then unscrew. Now, what happened here on the inside of that post is you can kind of see it pushed material in and kind of beveled that side. It's only going to fix the sides. You're only going to get maybe a couple thousandths of swing to go away. If this post was way too big, let me direct you back to the board. Say your screw was just moving around in there. You would really have to drill this out, put a brass plug in there, so you'd have to solder in a brass plug and then re-drill the hole. It is a job. So these pliers from Music Medic, this again is the old school, this is the new school. I kind of like these. I got really used to these. This is my own personal set, so I'm not going to buy new ones, but this is the latest version. You can ask for the old set. These are the schools, but these work the same way. And the nice thing about these is this can get around in a lot of places that maybe mine can't. I would not do the entry point. I'm only doing the exit point for the lead post. So, oh, I should check. So now, that doesn't swing half as much as it used to. So when we go back, let's do a little bit more post fitting. So with the dome side there, the brass side there, I'm going to give it a little squeeze, and then I'm going to just work it back and forth. Oops. Careful there, don't do that. And then let's check. Now, this is a common thing that happens, but this pushed some of the brass, and now I have a burr. And that's where my awls, AWL, come in handy. A little pointy, it's not a pointy jabby, but it does have a sharp point. This is an awl, AWL, from Snap-on. You can go in, that's just going to open that up a bit, and now you can get that in. Now, what happens if I go too far? I squeeze too much material and I can't get it through. This will only get one side, so I'd have to come in this way, but that's crooked. So I need something that has a right angle. So I actually have two of these. What I need to do, I have to alter this one. If you're going to buy a set of these, buy two of the straight ones, and then I have the number for this guy. I use this guy for something else, but I use it all the time with saxophones. Your dental probes will not do it, although I think you do have a dental probe. Nope, it's just my J-hook. There is a dental probe that is, we need a 90-degree angle. So I need a 90-degree angle to fit in there. So I have to heat this up and bend it. So we have a 90-degree angle to go in and fit that. So we're going to pause the video. I'm going to do that real quick so that I can show you how I reverse that.